Thank you, thank you, and I appreciate being invited to share. Am I audible?
Yeah, yes, yes, yes.
Okay, okay. I I'm very honored to be able to present once again for the IFPH here too. When I look at homeopathy, when I consider what we have with homeopathy, we have such, frankly, a corner on health. We honestly do. We really do. And I look at homeopathic medicine, and I still have to laugh when I consider the fact that people are still telling me, trying to tell me that there's nothing behind homeopathy, that it's just placebo. And I just this morning I was working with a homeopath in Denmark, who the government there is coming against her because of what she's daring to say on her website, which she does homeoprophylaxis, which again that's what I'm the major focus within my practice is. Um, but she's daring to say that there is this homeopathic option that can be any sort of a competition against what conventional medicine or allopathic medicine has. And I consider what she's going through, and I look at what I, I've got, the tremendous attorney who has also spoken for IFPH, Jim Turner. I'm in consultation with him regularly as to what is going to be good and what is not going to be as beneficial to be saying publicly what we have, what I work to have within homeopathy, within my homeopathic practice, because I do practice homeopathy. I don't just do homeoprophylaxis. There's nothing to hide. There is nothing to hide within homeopathy. We have solid roots. We have so much science that supports exactly what we have. I see this as I research further, homeopathy within epidemics, within pandemics, things that are so relevant to know today that I just presented about yesterday and I'm presenting about again next week. This is what people need to know. Is homeopathy ever going to be completely number one? I don't know, and I'm not going to dare say yes or no. I would love it to be because of the wonderful experience that I have with it, because of all the knowledge that I know, um, everything that I know about homeopathy supports it. Everything that I look at supports it. Every homeopath I work with, I look at their work, I consult with around the world. It is the same story. It is working again and again and again. This impossible situation has been cured. This death sentence is no longer there. They're viable. They are running around. They are healthy. I look at what conventional medicine does when they say that there's no cure for this. Well, that's not a medical call. That is a judgment call. That has nothing to do with health. That is deciding that it's not going to work. Well, guess what? It can work. It can work. I'm a very staunch believer in optimism. I'm kind of limited with what I can say here in the United States because well, yes, Paula Brown also spoke here with the work that she is doing. She's not a homeopath, but she has put together the wonderful organization Americans for Homeopathy Choice, which is working to educate our lawmakers to once again realize and know what homeopathy is. It's not just some fly on the wall or something like that. It is solid medicine that has 200 years behind it, that has solid science behind it, that's based on principles that are thousands of years old. Um, we, I know homeopaths here who try not to say what they don't want to get themselves in trouble because, excuse me, my homeopath colleague in Denmark, another homeopath colleague in the Netherlands are facing legal troubles. I've got another homeopath colleague in Canada who's facing legal troubles. What is going on? Well, frankly, what I see is going on is fear. Fear. They don't like the fact that homeopathic medicine is working. They don't like the fact that homeopathy is curing what they are calling incurable. We have to be careful within homeopathy that we don't say homeopathy can cure COVID-19, that homeopathy can cure pneumonia, that homeopathy can cure the flu. Why? Because guess what? COVID-19, pneumonia, the flu, those are allopathically labeled diseases. Guess what? And this is something that I say again and again and again. Homeopathic medicines for more than 200 years. Homeopathic medicines have been very effectively preventing, curing, treating every symptom that is affiliated with the COVID-19 disease alone. We can confidently say that. We can confidently look at the fact that this has been proven again and again. I've got a few materia medicas over here that are thousands of pages long, stating the fact that yes, arsenicum album works with fear, also works with respiratory issues, works with digestive issues. You know, gelsemium, bryonium. We we know these medicines work. This is what I'm my hat is off. I'm here in Texas, here in the United States. Personally, I have not actively seen a lot of COVID-19 cases. That is not the case for homeopaths around the world. But I have paperwork over here that's just I'm working to stay on top of as much as I can as far as what homeopaths are doing for COVID-19 around the world. Should we be afraid of it? No, absolutely not. Homeopathic medicines are working. We've got thousands upon thousands upon thousands of cases that are showing this, that are attesting this. Can we say that homeopathy cures it? No, because this is the other problem that we have within homeopathy. We don't have the money, the power, the influence that conventional medicine does. Not yet. It used to be here in the United States, it used to be that homeopathy was the medical care approach of choice. We had homeopathic universities, homeopathic hospitals, over 1,000 homeopathic pharmacies. But that was until the early 20th century when Mr. Rockefeller came along and decided that he wanted to invest his money into what would provide the quick quote unquote cure. And that was conventional medicine. And that's when it started taking a nosedive, homeopathic medicine. So that happened. But the fact is, the American Institute of Homeopathy, which is still a very strong organization today, was established before the American Medical Association. That's how firm homeopathy is. This is why we need to not be afraid. We need to not be shy. I work I work a lot with German homeopaths as well in the country of Germany, as is within, excuse me, in India and many other countries. We have homeopathic medicine. We also have conventional medicine. More doctors, I can't say more, many doctors in Germany alone, and I can say this for sure because I know this, many doctors in Germany alone will prescribe a homeopathic medicine before they will prescribe a conventional med. And this is something Jim Turner has said too, that maybe at this point in time, because things are changing the way that they are, what we can do is work to get homeopathic medicine recognized as being able to work conjunctively, right along with conventional medicine. We all within homeopathy, we know, but we have got to start somewhere. And I really firmly, strongly feel the best first step that every one of us should be taking is having confidence to come out with yet another coronavirus nosode. I'm not gonna say anything negative about that, but I will say this. The focus, in my opinion, the focus should not be on finding another coronavirus nosode. Why? Because we already have homeopathic meds, homeopathic remedies, homeopathic nosodes, like that we've already been using, like the influenzinum, like arsenicum album. We have already been using these for how many years, and they have been very effective. So while I'm working, and I was just talking actually with Isaac Golden just yesterday um, about what he's doing there too, and he's got his parameters, his difficulties that he's facing there in Australia. I've got my difficulties here in the United States, Bangladesh, India, wherever you're living, there are difficulties that are being arisen against us, that are rising against us. So I can't say what everybody in every country should do. Here is my opinion, and I've talked about this book again and again and again, Divided Legacy by Harris Coulter. Please, 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 if you don't have a copy of this, get it. It is a thick book, so it will take a while to read, but this has to do with the conflict between homeopathy and the American Medical Association. This is the third volume. Please, please, please get this, read it, know what's said in it, because it will help us all understand more fully, more clearly the tumult that it has always been, where the homeopathic approach and the rational approach that conventional medicine uses, there has always been an historic conflict between the two. This being said, one of the things that Harris Coulter points out in this book, one of the biggest things that conventional medicine has against homeopathy is the fact, guess what? The homeopathic approach basically has not changed in more than 200 years. It is still the same. We still need to find the individual symptom picture. It's not a cookie cutter approach. It's individual medicine. And guess what? It is still just effective as today as it was when Samuel Hahnemann was alive. And so this is what I really very strongly feel we need to do within homeopathy. We need to have confidence. We need to speak confidently about homeopathic medicine. We need to use it confidently, not to say anything like my homeopath colleague in Denmark is facing. She cannot say it's a replacement. No, no. It's a complement to it. It is, as I had to word the title for the conference for my organization in Delhi a year ago, January, homeoprophylaxis is a non-toxic immunization option, not an alternative, because alternative can be a controversial word in and of itself, but an immunization option. You know, homeopathy, there's nothing wrong with and everything right with homeopathic medicine. It's good to be in consultation with attorneys when it's possible to know where you can stand legally. And I know Jim Turner has been just an angel to be able to know. So I will encourage everyone here to just have absolute confidence with what we have in homeopathy, to consult as you need with attorneys, to just understand, of course, I'm not a surgeon. I'm not going to cut anybody open. That there's a need for that kind of medicine, for emergency medicine. Things like that absolutely should be treated the way that they are. I have another friend who she's lost track of how many surgeries she's had. She also has she's severely bipolar. That is a case, yes, absolutely homeopathy can help her. But there are some things that homeopathy cannot touch. Again, like a broken bone or something like that, that needs to be there. But again, fundamentally what we need within homeopathy is to have absolute confidence in what we have. And I'll leave it with that. Thank you. You're muted, Dr. Shraji.
Yeah, thank you, Kathy Lemon. Now I invite another panelist speaker today, who is none other than Professor Dr. T. Ajayan from India, who is the head of the Department of Practice of Medicine, one of the most prestigious homeopathic institution in India, Sharada Krishna Homeopathic Medical College, Kulasegaram, Tamil Nadu, India. Dr. Ajayan, the next 10 minutes are yours. Please come in. Dr. Ajayan, please.
Yes, thank you, sir. Yes, please wait. Just I share the PowerPoint one for the PowerPoint is set. Yes, please wait, sir.
Yeah, please.
Good evening to all. Then first of all, let me express my sincere thanks to the organizers. The second time is when given an opportunity to present a topic related to the development of homeopathic science. Then also this time I utilized to congratulate the presenter, the beautifully they are presenting the development of homeopathy in that particular country. That is an inspirational speech to me. That is an how to study what is the importance of homeopathy science in the world. Then now that only the time is 10 minutes, therefore just I discuss the topic that highlighting that point is that the gaps in the growth of the homeopathy science. Why I say that gap? There's so many advantages are there in homeopathy science. There's so many advantages are there, but for the upcoming the era, homeopathy is a #1 system. Is no doubt. Is an then in primary healthcare or in secondary healthcare is a #1 system, no doubt. But the same time, that just you identified gaps, then the popularity of the homeopathy that had been already known to all the continents for the world. Then in spite of this, the criticism, then questioning is and scientificity, the growth of homeopathy is significant in each year. Then annual growth of the homeopathy is an average of 20 to 30%. Around the world, the more than 300 million people with at least the 70 countries that use homeopathic medicine. Then according to the World Health Organization, it is the second largest system of the medicine in the world. Then at the year of the 2017, the global homeopathic the product, the market was then valued at 5.39 billion US dollar and expected to generate the revenue is an around 15.98 billion by the end of 2024. Then all these the statistics shows the development of homeopathic science. But at the same time, that definitely we are identifying the gaps. As an current status, as an already I conveyed with you, there is an for the gap identification, the sector in homeopathic development, that definitely we are identifying the 3 areas as an education, the clinical practice, and the research. Then all these the 3 components are interlinked: the education, clinical practice, and research. Then now I remember the words of one of a philosopher, Dr. J.T. Kent. Then he says the standardization begins from education. The education in homeopathy means then thorough understanding of our laws, principles, and doctrines. That not only these the theoretical knowledge, then all the homeopaths have these particular theoretical knowledge, but you must implement it in the clinical practice. That is at that time only the standardization will happen. Therefore, I will highlighting the 3 sectors, that is education, clinical practice, and research. On all these 3 areas, that development is there. Definitely that tomorrow our system is reached the #1 system. And then listen, then what are the factors are influencing or supporting for the requirement for this development? Then I will highlight in the 4 point. One is then we are support from the medias. Then support from the medias, then again, then pharmacological companies, then again the social workers, then the political support. Then all these support is there. Definitely, then homeopathy system is reached the #1. The stakeholders in homeopathy, there could be the media person, benefited patient, then pharma companies, then supplying the medicines and the materials to the institution and the homeopathic organization. They must show that keep interest in the growth of homeopathy. They can also be an investor for the various research projects, the organizers for the various educational symposium and the conference. Then well wishes to improve the clinical practitioners by then sponsoring the higher education or the foreign collaboration for the best practitioners across the country. This will greatly determine the better outcome of the science, thus the defining the future of homeopathy. Then also the corporate funding, then agencies and the top industrialists must come forward to start the new homeopathic institutions with absolute facilities for the providing the quality of education and the research. That not only that the beneficiaries like the media persons must take the step to share the awareness among the public by writing articles on the various homeopathic institutions and their the strategies. Then about the patient, the getting the healthcare and their the social commitment, the search activities that with the stakeholders would be the mutually beneficial to one another and will help in improving the outlook of the homeopathy among the public. That time only the homeopathy science is reached the number one. This is an important gap you are identifying day to day in our system. The next one, education. This time, then already I will convey with you then what happened in our education. The education, almost all the educational institutions, they are conducting the BHMS course and the MD course and other higher PhD courses. But the one gap we are identifying in all these areas, that is the lack of the standardization. Then standardization, then improve the quality of education and the infrastructure for the institutions then through the accreditation. That one of these accreditation is there, that definitely it will help for the standardization. Then accreditation means the action or the process of officially recognizing someone as having the particular status or being qualified to perform a particular activity. The quality of education in an institution will be improved to maintain the standards of accreditation. The accreditation of the institution, the NABH, for example, NABH, NAC, is an highly essential in the future to ensure the quality of homeopathy education and training. Then NABH, the standardization is very useful for the standardization happen in all the homeopathy hospitals. Then like the NAC, then is very essential for all the institutions. It is very useful for the standardization happening in all the homeopathy institutions. Then updation of the curriculum is another very core area. That is a curriculum. Then every time we are need for the then upgrading the curriculum. Then include new research, research finding, the clinical observation, new drugs regarding the new drugs. Then a definite treatment protocol is very, very essential. Then everybody know nowadays that is in primary healthcare, our system is the number one. But the same time, then for the secondary type level development treatment or the tertiary level treatment, definitely we are need the protocol. That is a treatment protocol is very, very essential. It's assured that the upward the knowledge will be developed into then clinical through the practice. A definite treatment or updation of the curriculum must assure that acquired the knowledge will be developed into the clinical skill through the practice. Then clinical practice. In our clinical practice, there are 3 levels of the clinical practice when nowadays there. One is the primary care and secondary care and the tertiary care. Then in primary care, the homeopathy is very effective and the popular as conventional medicine care for the treating the acute infections, and it has also showed 79% of patient satisfaction. Is a survey will conducted around 79% the satisfaction is there. Reason this our treatment, homeopathy treatment in primary care. But at the same time, at least then whereas the patient treated with the conventional medicine, the satisfaction only then the 65.1%. Then availability of the homeopathy in all the primary healthcare centers can made is easily then accessible to the public. Then in secondary care, then a study conducted in 2015, a cross-sectional survey was conducted in 659 people, then adult patient visiting the randomly selected the secondary level conventional healthcare set up in Kolkata, the Mumbai, Kottayam, and the New Delhi, using a self-administered 24-item the questionnaire in the 4 local then vernaculars, then Bengali, then Marathi, Malayalam, and Hindi. Then 82.4% of the participants were in favor of integrating homeopathic service. The reason emerged out of the survey are mainly due to the prevalence of the chronic disease, unavoidable increase the cost of treatment in chronic disease, unsatisfied patient with the existing health service, the public awareness about the preventive and holistic care. The people are aware about of the side effect intake in the modern medicine for the long durations. Then in tertiary care, then integrated approach in the medicine will better explore the role of homeopathy in tertiary care. Then I am working in Sarada Krishna Homeopathy Medical College. Then last the 5 years back, I started our intensive care unit. The number of cases we are successfully managed with our facility, with our facilities and medicine, we are able to manage. But at the same time, the so many cases are referred to the higher centers. What is the problem arising? The lack of the expert. Therefore, I would like to highlight in the homeopathy medicine was used the add-on therapy in intensive care unit for the conventional hospital. There is an example in Austria and Israel for the treating the septic and intubated patient. Then remedies like aconites, echinacea, opium, pulsatilla, and belladonna was used. This study shows the remarkable result by improving the severely ill septic patient and the hastening the extubation of an ICU patient. Then also there's an available the book titled The Homeopathy in Intensive Care and the Emergency Medicine, then by the Michael Fresh, that 70 homeopathy remedies. So for ICU emergency situation has been discussed with the cases. That means there is that definitely in our so many the data are there. In tertiary care, that integrated approach is definitely help for the development of homeopathic science. It will help for the future, the homeopathy as a #1 system in the world. Then the next one is the quality enhancement. Then quality enhancement, the application of the theoretical knowledge of the clinical practice and the improve the clinical facilities and infrastructure. Then quality enhancement is the clinical practice will promote the standard and worldwide acceptance of homeopathy. Therefore, these two areas, that is, we are listened, that time the quality enhancement is takes place. Then the last part is the research. Then everybody know in research, there's so many lacunae there. Then out of the first one is the lack of then fundamental research. That is, and I would like to highlight it here because the reason is I'm a PhD scholar. Then as a part of my PhD program, just I presenting the synopsis to the higher centers, the higher authority. They are highlighting, you are asked the number of questions regarding the fundamentals. There we are need the articles, the peer-reviewed journals we are needed. The fundamental research related to the ultra dilutions, the susceptibility, the miasm, etc. Therefore, I would like to highlighting the fundamental research is a very essential one for the development of homeopathic science. Then understanding the shortcomings, the theory knows their credibility, lack of funding of the private sectors. That is another lacuna is there. The lack of funding for the research purpose, we are need funds. But in homeopathy sector, nowadays the funds are not available. That is another very important lack. There is a gap. Then the third one is an improper implementation of research methodology. That is, our science belongs to the dynamic aspect, but all the research in modern science is related to the materialistic aspect. There is a problem is there. Then lack of knowledge about the research methodology and is a lack of resource and equipments and trained staff. There is another area the gap is there. Then overcoming these challenges, then several homeopathy pharmaceutical companies, then project support and funding for the leading institutions, then stakeholders have to keep update the research development and in this day-to-day development of the homeopathy system. Then thank you all. These are my points and related to for the future development of homeopathic science. These are gap we are corrected that definitely our system. Then coming days, then now our system is 220 years. Then we are considering then other system, our system in infantile stage. Then coming that days, that definitely we are identifiable areas we are corrected. Definitely our system is reached in the #1 stage. Once again, I extend my sincere thanks to the organizers that give me give me a time for to convey my suggestions regarding the development of homeopathic science. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ajain sir. Your presentation and ideas were very well presented, and congratulate you for that. Now I invite Dr. Hafizur Rahman from Bangladesh, another principal from a homeopathic medical college, Jashore Homeopathic Medical College and Hospital, Jashore, Khulna, Bangladesh. So, Dr. Hafizur Rahman, it is your time now to share your ideas. Next 10 minutes are yours, doctor. Please proceed.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I am Dr. Hafizur Rahman from Bangladesh. BSMS degree from Dhaka University. Now I am a principal of Jashore Homeopathic Medical College and Hospital in Bangladesh. I would like to thank all the members and admin of IFPH International Forum for Homeopathy, promoting homeopathy at the beginning at the speech. I am thankful that Almighty Allah has kept us healthy during coronavirus pandemic diseases COVID-19 in the world. My topic is what needs to be done to make homeopathy #1 medicine in the world. Homeopathy being an entirely latest, new, modern, natural system of treatment, therefore it is exposed to better criticism from the all other medical treatment system such as allopathy, Unani, Ayurvedic, yoga, acupuncture, etc. Homeopathy is a modern medical treatment system because the inventor and founder of homeopathy, Dr. Samuel Christopher Hahnemann, already was a homeopathic physician in the world. He was already MD, PhD degree holder, allopathic physician, but the allopathic medicine is the medicine of crude and obesity form, which cannot cure the disease in permanently. Because the spiritual and dynamic life force and life power and vital force control all over the human body kingdom. We know that the vital force and life principle are dynamic and spiritual power. The disease power is already dynamic and spiritual, so the medicinal power will be must dynamic and spiritual power. But the allopathic medicine now crude or obesity form, it is not appropriate the human body for permanent cure of disease. So the allopathy is the not appropriate for the human body permanently cure. In this way, the homeopathic is the #1 treatment system and medicine in the world. On the otherwise, the proving system of homeopathic medicine are homeopathy was introduced by the famous German Dr. Samuel S.F. Hahnemann. It is a medical science that treats the ailments by medicines which have been tested and on healthy person, and when validated, the question arises: why on healthy person? The answer will be clear after reading this introduction. This makes the homeopathic system foolproof and safe. The Hahnemann emphasized the fertility omnibus experiments and researches which try to provide cures on the basis of the all over the disease rather than focusing animals and also differential from each other. This phenomenon applies to both medicines and disease. For example, morphia makes dogs vomit and redness then drowsy, whereas it excites cats. Aconite kills sheep but does not affect horses and goats. Antimony proves rather than human being and most animal kept hogs and elephants. The same logic can be extended to human being. Therefore, each patient will have to treat an individual on the basis of symptoms. The basic homeopathy is a basic natural principle in Latin This principle is stated and similia similibus currenter. Let likes be treated by likes. First, propounded by the Hippocrates. This is to say that to cure any diseases, drug must be found which is capable to producing similar symptoms when tested on healthy human beings and human body. Or in other words, a drug can only cure that which can produce. The common person understand it is poison like poison. Everyone we know that iron cuts iron and heat symptoms can be cured by the treatment. According to science, we cannot create anything. We can simply change the form. The things which exist today are because something was already there. A drug in its proving can evoke a use case only what was already there. Latent in a prover even as disease bring out only weak points and there does not affect two patients in exactly the same way. It requires many provers of different types of different defective resistance to bring out the complete picture of drug pathogenesis. In this case, we already said that the homeopathic treatment system is the number one in the world. Homeopathic treatment system has some specific continuity for all over the homeopathic physician and in the subject practice of medicine in the practice life of the all over the physician. The specific continuity are as follows: that there has the three subject of treatment is the definition of disease, what is the disease and what are the total symptom of the disease. Number one, definition of disease. Number two, cause of disease. What is the cause of the disease? And this cause is the main fact and main points, main subjects for the cure of the disease by the physician. The cause of the disease, these several facts: acute case, acute cause, chronic cause, acquired cause, miasmatic cause, microorganism cause. And the number three, symptom of disease and totality of the symptom, all the collection of the symptom. All the symptoms are need the patient properly treatment by the physician. The totality of symptom are as follows. Number one, physical symptom, physical general symptom, mental symptom, mental general symptom, clinical symptom, pathological symptom, miasmatic symptom, peculiar symptom. Then after treat the management. In the way, the homeopathic medicine is the outcome of the desire of the patient rapidly, gently, and permanently. So we can explain the homeopathic medicine system in the world is better than allopathic treatment system, and the allopathic treatment system, homeopathic treatment system is the number one medicine and treatment system in the world. This is my explanation. Thank you very much.